Welcome back, everybody. Today we're going deep on the Dread Concord
Oh,
and all its inner workings and intrigue and everything else.
a fascinating choice, and definitely timely with Halloween right around the corner.
Yeah, right. Everyone loves a good, spooky undead empire story.
It's especially one with this much depth.
Right. So we're going to be drawing on a couple of things.
Okay.
Obviously, the main one is Sir William de Montrose's account from the 14th century.
Right, a first-hand perspective from inside the Concord itself.
Yeah, which is just incredible, right? I mean, to have that kind of insight is,
A true rarity,
yeah, it really is.
and a bit unnerving if you think about it too closely.
Oh, absolutely. The things this guy must have seen.
Precisely.
So yeah, we've got that, and then some supplementary material just to,
Fill in the gaps.
yeah, exactly, round it out a bit.
Provide a little more context.
Exactly, yeah. And what we're really trying to do with this deep dive is figure out what makes this empire tick.
Because it is an empire, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
And that's what sets it apart from your average, zombie horde.
Totally. It's organized, it's ambitious.
It's got plans,
It's not just about survival, it's about domination.
conquering not just the living world, but maybe even death itself.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
And to do that, you need someone calling the shots, right?
Absolutely. And in this case,
It's Alaric.
Alaric the Mortarch.
And the Montrose,
Yeah.
paints a picture
He does.
of Alaric on his bone throne in this black citadel.
Overlooking a lake of blood, no less.
It's metal.
Terrifyingly majestic.
Right. So not just your average, shambling lich.
Oh, no, no, no.
This guy's got a vision.
He's an architect.
He built this whole thing.
Precisely.
And what's even more interesting is how organized everything is.
Oh, yeah. De Montrose talks about that a lot.
The orderliness of it all.
Yeah.
It's kind of creepy, actually.
Chillingly efficient.
Yeah, exactly. And it's so different from the usual zombie apocalypse chaos.
Right. It's not just mindless instinct driving them.
They've got legions of skeletal warriors, siege engines powered by necromancy.
A vast spy network.
Like they are prepared for a war that could last hundreds of years.
Which suggests a level of planning and foresight that's,
Unsettling, to say the least.
what does Alaric see that we don't?
Right. Like, what's the end game here?
That's the million-dollar question.
And to wage a war like that, you need resources.
Right. Is
Which brings us to...
the blood trade.
Ooh, yeah.
This is where things get really dark.
The Montrose talks about these human farms, and it's just
It's horrific.
people being bred and harvested for their blood.
Fuel for the Concord's war machine.
So the big question is,
How does the Concord view humanity?
are we just cattle to them?
Or is there something more?
The Montrose doesn't really offer much insight there.
He's a little preoccupied with, staying alive.
Right, fair enough.
But it's a question worth exploring.
Definitely, because it speaks to their ideology, their worldview,
And ultimately to their goals.
which might be even more complex than we initially thought.
Especially when you consider the role of vampires in all of this.
Right. They're not just mindless predators.
Oh, no, no.
They hold positions of power. They're diplomats, spies, even rulers.
Think Dracula, but as a politician,
It's a fascinating twist.
it challenges our preconceived notions.
Totally. And it's just they have a much deeper understanding of both the human and undead worlds,
They're walking a tightrope.
between their nature
And
and their role in this society.
and then there's this elite class of vampires
The sanguinarchs.
who can walk in daylight.
Imagine the advantage.
Right.
They can blend in, gather intelligence, manipulate events,
They're the ultimate infiltrators.
but also incredibly dangerous.
Because what's to stop them from turning against the Concord?
Exactly. They're powerful, ambitious.
And used to operating independently.
The Concord needs them.
But can they control them?
That's the million-dollar question.
So you've got this underlying tension.
A fear of the very beings they rely on most.
It's fascinating. And then you add the Order of Judas into the mix.
Ooh, yeah, this shadowy faction vying for control.
They seem to understand the potential of the sanguinarchs.
Maybe even better than the Concord itself.
De Montrose's report is fragmented, but he suggests they're actively recruiting sanguinarch.
Promising them power freedom from the Concord's control.
It's a powder keg waiting to explode.
So it's not just the living versus the dead,
It's a war within the undead world itself.
with the sanguinarchs caught right in the middle.
And the fate of everything hanging in the balance. So we were talking about, the sanguinarchs and that potential for rebellion.
Yeah, that tension between, needing them, but also fearing them.
Exactly. It's like a high-stakes gamble for the Conquered,
Okay.
right?
Totally. And de Montrose hints at, some growing unrest among them.
But what's interesting is it's not just about power or freedom.
Oh, well.
It seems like there's a deeper ideological difference.
Okay.
It sounds like the younger sanguinarchs see the old vampire ways as outdated.
Like they're holding back progress.
Yeah, almost like they think they're the next step in undead evolution.
Ooh, transcending the limitations and all that.
Right. Which is a direct challenge to the Concord's power.
Yeah, the old guard isn't going to like that.
Exactly. You've got these two opposing forces, the traditionalists versus the revolutionaries.
A recipe for disaster.
And de Montrose describes this growing paranoia within the Concord.
Like everyone's suspicious of everyone else.
Accusations of treason, betrayal flying around.
Yikes. Sounds like a pressure cooker about to blow.
And then you have the Order of Judas stepping in.
Right, offering a tempting alternative.
Freedom from the Concord, a chance to shape their own destiny.
But what exactly is the Order's vision?
Well, from what we can gather, it's more aggressive, more expansionist.
There's like undeath for everyone.
Yeah. They seem to believe it's the next stage of evolution for all beings.
That's a pretty bold claim.
And they're willing to use any means necessary to achieve it.
Okay, that's getting a little scary now.
It puts the sanguinarchs in a tough spot, doesn't it?
Yeah, caught between two powerful forces.
Do they side with the familiar but maybe outdated Concord?
Or embrace this radical new vision.
It's a classic dilemma.
And it sounds like the Order of Judas gets it.
They understand the power of the sanguinarchs.
Maybe even better than the Concord itself.
They're exploiting those tensions.
Dangling promises of power and freedom.
And using the sanguinarchs' unique abilities to their advantage.
To infiltrate and manipulate from the shadows.
It's a dangerous game.
De Montrose mentions they've been particularly successful with the younger sanguinarchs.
The ones who are more idealistic.
Less bound by tradition.
They're drawn to that promise of change.
So we've got this conflict brewing on multiple fronts.
Sanguinarchs versus traditionalists.
Dread Concord versus the Order of Judas.
Even factions within the sanguinarchs themselves.
It's a tangled web.
And the stakes are incredibly high.
So much conflict, right? All these factions fighting for control of the Dread Concord.
It's like a Game of Thrones, but with vampires and liches and...
Yeah, nobody really knows who's going to come out on top.
Especially with the Order of Judas lurking in the shadows.
Yeah, de Montrose doesn't give us a ton of details about the actual war between them.
Well, that makes sense if you think about it.
How so?
Because the Order of Judas, they're not about open warfare.
Right. They prefer to operate in the shadows.
Exactly. It's all about infiltration, manipulation, turning enemies against each other.
Spies, assassins, sabotage.
Whispers, betrayals, sudden strikes.
A shadow war.
Precisely, they want to weaken the Conquered from within, sow discord.
And ultimately seize control for themselves.
And they're using the sanguinarchs to do it.
Right, because they can move between the human and undead worlds so easily.
And they're the perfect weapons in this kind of conflict.
And it seems to be working.
Oh, yeah. De Montrose talks about this growing paranoia within the Conquered.
Like everyone's looking over their shoulder.
Trust is gone, replaced by suspicion and fear.
Which is exactly what the Order of Judas wants.
They're creating chaos, eroding the Conquered's power from the inside out.
What about the traditional vampire bloodlines? How are they dealing with all this?
They're fighting back, of course, but their hands are tied.
By their own traditions.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're used to ruling through strength hierarchy control.
Which doesn't really work against an enemy like the Order of Judas.
Right. They're not equipped to fight a shadow war.
They're being outmaneuvered.
And in the middle of it all, you've got Alaric,
The Mordarch.
facing a crisis of leadership.
His empire is falling apart.
And he's got enemies on all sides.
So what does he do?
That's the question de Montrose leaves us with.
Does he stick to the old ways or embrace change?
Does he trust the traditionalists or the revolutionaries?
Or does he find some other way out?
We don't know.
It's a cliffhanger.
But it makes you think, doesn't it?
About the nature of power, the dangers of ambition.
And the fragility of even the most powerful empires.
Well, on that note,
A bit ominous.
that wraps up our deep dive into the Dread Concord.
Thanks for joining us.
We'll be back soon with more explorations of the strange and the unsettling.
Until then, sleep well.
If you can.